live. Hey everybody, welcome in to the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo, and you'll have to excuse my voice. I am still recovering from dehydration from the desert, lack of sleep while in Vegas, and the last night party was a concert that was out of this world. So, my voice is definitely not what it normally is, but I'll try to speak up really loud. I have my mic close to me. If you have any issues hearing me, just let me know and I'll start yelling. Everybody, I did miss you the whole week I was gone. I was going to try to put some videos up while we were at eBay Open. However, and many other resellers and YouTubers can attest, we had really bad Wi-Fi in the Mandalay Bay. We were really lucky. There's my kid. Hi. We were really lucky if we could use our phones. The internet was just really shabby. Let me see who's here and say hi to people. Nathan, hi. Missed you this year for sure. Colleen is here. I feel like I just saw you. Hi, Pete. Welcome in. I'm glad you're excited. Rhonda and Amelia, Greg, Nick, Brenda, and Sydney are here. Welcome in, guys. I'm glad to see you. Before I get started, I do want to give a really big shout out to Dominic Carone. You guys know him as the Primetime Treasure Hunter. He does an event every Sunday in his Facebook group where he features an eBay seller, and he throws their eBay store up in a post, and the 10,000 members in his group go shopping in that person's store. And I have seen much success with that series that he does in his Facebook group. I've seen the posts of people's packages and the total number of sales they get when he features them. And today he featured the Hippo Hut, which is our eBay store. So he did feature the Hippo Hut today, and it really helped us get back on track and make a ton of sales after vacation. Even though Keith did not go to Vegas with me, he was off of work for the week and took a staycation. So our store was kind of, so it did really help us. We had a lot of sales today, and I really appreciate the support of everyone in Dominic's Facebook group, and I really appreciate Dominic. It couldn't have come at a better time for us to be chosen as the sponsored sellers to help us kind of bounce back after the week off. So I'm going to go into chat right now, guys, and you'll see me putting a link. That's to Dominic's Facebook group. If you're not in his group, join his group. He's amazing. I have been following him from the beginning. Let me see who else is here. Sherry, hi. Thank you so much. Hi, Danny. Elizabeth, Kathy, Smart and Savvy Gal. David's here. Hey, David. In case you guys didn't hear, while we were in Vegas, David proposed to his now fiance, Bill, on Fremont Street, and we were there to witness it, and it was just beautiful. So happy love to you guys, and congrats again. Junking Data Girl is here. There's Bill. Hi, Bill. Vicky, thank you so much. I do like the hair too. I did it for Vegas, but I think I'm going to stick with this pretty much forever. I really like it. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And absolutely, Dominic is so awesome. So please join his Facebook group. He does so much to help the reselling community. And he's full of really good knowledge. He knows a lot. So I've had him on the channel. You guys have probably seen his interviews with me. He's been on here twice. Southern Blue Skies is here. Tracy Thrifts, Simple Fit Life. Hello from the beautiful coast of Central Florida. Hello. Kelly's here. Hi, Kelly. I love you, Mama. I missed you at Open too. Kim is here. Just got here. Tracy Thrifts at Dominic, the sponsored sellers in his group once a week, and the members in his group shop from that person's store to help them out. And we were featured today, and it's really helping us bounce back after Open. So, yeah, that was Dave and Bill are just awesome. I was so happy to be there. I'm so happy to be a part of their lives. They're like just amazing people. The volume is not low. It is my voice. I said that at the beginning. I'm still recovering from a concert. Hi, Wade. Welcome in. It's good to see you here. I feel like I just saw you a couple days ago. The volume is not low, guys. It is my voice. I'm trying to yell. I have the mic right here. So I'll do my best. Okay, so now that we've got... Here, let me put it in a couple more times. Join Dominic's group. Join it, join it, join it. We love you too, guys, Dave and Bill. So join his group. And I'm going to... excuse me. So what I'm going to do tonight, there's like 5 really big things that were announced at Open for sellers. So I'm going to mention all 5, tell you what they are, and just talk a little bit about them. In the coming week, starting tomorrow, I will be putting up more in-depth and in detail videos. Not necessarily about each one. Like some of these, I think I could put 2 in one video and talk more in depth about, and go over to the eBay blog and the eBay Facebook pages and kind of read you their information on it. So tonight we're just going to announce what the 5 were, talk a little bit about them. If you got some questions, I could try to answer them. And then in the coming week, I will be going into way more depth on some of these. Well, I'll go into more depth on all of them. Some will need a video all to themselves. Some can share a video. Some of these I was in workshops for, so I have all of the slideshows from the workshops to share with you in those videos that go into more details. And we'll go over eBay for Business and their Facebook pages and stuff. So tonight I really just want to touch upon it all and get the announcements out there because they are so exciting. I had to lower the volume. The end of the party at eBay Open, there was a live concert and it was really awesome. So we're hearing that the volume is high for some and low for others. So unfortunately, it's probably not on my end if it's not a consistent problem for everyone. So you'll just have to play with your own settings and figure out where you can hear me. I can't reach to the internet and fix everything. I wish I was magic. That would be great, right? Low for everything. Yeah, it could be YouTube too. It could be different settings. It could be my voice. It could be whatever. Who knows? Technology is always fantastic until it doesn't want to work the right way, right? Donatella, hey, welcome, girl. I missed you guys, all of you, Alan. Okay, so I don't know. It's high for some, it's low for others. My voice is bad. We talked way too much about the volume. I will move the mic a little bit closer. Do what you can to hear me. I don't want to waste my whole show talking about the volume. So the 5 big announcements, like I said, I'll go over them. They're very exciting. And then in the coming week, I'll do more detailed videos. I'm not doing a Hanging with the Hippos this week. And I may be skipping it next week as well. I do not have anyone scheduled after Open, but I do have a lot of people who have agreed to come on. Some really exciting guests are in the works for you guys. Some really well-known YouTubers that you guys really, really love that have agreed to come on. And then some resellers that are really not on YouTube, but they're really active in the reselling community and friends with many of you as well. So I do have a lot of people. I have a list and I have to start reaching out to people and start scheduling them. But I need like a week to get back into the groove before I do any guests on the show or interviews, and it may be a couple of weeks before I get back into that. But in the meantime, I have plenty of info to do on eBay Open for you guys, and I got some feedback in the group on what a post I put up. If you're not in my group, link is in the description box. You should join the Flippin' Hippos group. It's a great group to be in. A lot of really great people in there, very positive atmosphere, and there is a thread in there in the announcements that you can request either yourself to be on the Hanging with the Hippos interview series if you would like to come on a live show and be interviewed, or you can suggest or recommend other YouTubers or friends that you have in the reselling community that you would like to see interviewed. It doesn't have to be a YouTuber. It can be anyone at all in the reselling community. And also in that thread, you can suggest topics or things that you want to see videos on. And that's what I'll be focusing on in the next 2 weeks while I start scheduling out round 2 of the interviews. So let me get a drink of water. LOL, Magic Lady. I did not. I know you guys are absolutely curious for the announcements. You really want those to come, but I have to tell you, we did not miss completely out on the plague of grasshoppers. They were there while we were there. You guys can't see Hannah now because I had to move the mic. Let me see. Now you can see Hannah. The grasshoppers were there while we were there. And in fact, there was a portion of the strip we were walking down to go to our Uber to go to the Haunted Museum. I was with Jason Deason, thrift trader, and his beautiful wife, Jess. I absolutely love her. She's great. We were walking, and these bushes were totally full of grasshoppers, and Jason was walking in the bushes and jumping on them on purpose so that hordes of grasshoppers came out and swarmed me and Jess. It was pretty funny because, you know, I freaked out, but we did see the swarms of grasshoppers, and I was attacked and swarmed myself. Do I have a voice? I have a voice. I'm talking, right? I request. Nathan, I will be in touch then if you would like to come on. Like I said, I'm going to start reaching out next week. So, before getting the announcements, I know, just keeping you guys on tenterhooks, right? Hey, She Sells Resells is here. Deb and Mel, welcome in, ladies. Before I get into these announcements, I do want to say that this eBay Open felt very seller-centric. Last year there were a lot of announcements and a lot of rollouts and a lot of things that they talked about, but this year felt like they were really focused on the sellers. It really did. The back of my shirt, I'm not going to turn around, my back hurts, but the back of the shirt says sell on seller. The back of the shirt last year said, have you checked eBay? That's about shopping on eBay. This one's all about the seller. All of the buttons that we received and the signs that the employees were holding up were all seller-centric. We love our sellers. Sell, yeah. It just felt like they really were all about the sellers this year, making us feel important, making us feel like they care about us. And a lot of these rollouts are definitely improvements for us as sellers, and almost like they're finally, thank you so much for the $2.22 super chat, Nathan. I absolutely will put you on the list. That's fantastic. And you got your dancing hippo. But Justin Packman is here. Hey, welcome in. It felt like they were finally responding to some complaints and some feedback they had gotten, and that they were really trying to show us, you know, at least make it look juicy, that they care about their sellers. Jeez, it was bad. Them grasshoppers, and then they were all over me and Jess. But anyway, it was crowded, but it wasn't, because the area we're in, I can't remember. I'm so tired. The conference area, the convention hall, so big. The resort, so big. So there were lots of people, but the only time it was really, really crowded, as I would say, at the party. I could totally hang with you. Oh yeah, Casey and his fiance and I in Sydney, our favorite thing to do is go to haunted places. And we drag Colleen and other people along that aren't so big on it, but that's our thing. Sandra, thank you. Welcome back. Jamie, hi. Good to see you again. I feel like I just saw you too. All right, so the whole thing felt very, very much like it was all about the seller this year. And so let's talk about the big five. I'm calling them the big five. Terapeak is now free for everyone. So you don't have to have the premium store or above. Anyone with a store on eBay, any size, you pay for a subscription, you can now use Terapeak for free. Terapeak is a very good tool if you do a lot of one-offs or new to you listings. If you're still new and learning and you need to comp prices. If you need to look stuff up while you're out, Terapeak is absolutely great for those types of folks. I did do a video on it, me trying to learn it in the back end. It was actually pretty hilarious because I really couldn't figure it out. I don't use it. I don't comp. Most things I sell are not new to me or one-offs. They're the same brands of jeans or the same types of plush over and over. But it is absolutely a good tool if you're doing a new to you or a one-off or you're new. It's a really good tool for newbies because you can look up things very easily. So it's now free for everyone. Last year when Nathan went, it made him very proud to be. Yeah, I would say that this year that was double fold. This year they really made us feel very special, like they really cared about us. I don't know, like you come home and then you get your first item not as subscribed that they won't remove after they just told us they're going to start removing them again, and then I'm going to be like back to they don't really care, but they made it sound really good at the conference and we were all excited. Yeah, the Haunted Museum was really great. Hey, Nicole, welcome in and thank you for the compliment. I appreciate it. Jamie. Okay, excuse me. That made it worse. Okay, there we go. All right, so Terapeak for everyone. Number 2, I'm going to try to go least exciting to most exciting. Let's do that. In case you're wondering, I have my bullet journal here. And I have a list. So, we're getting an app, or it will be part of the eBay app, where you could take your photos and blank out the background and turn it pure white. I know there's a lot of you that have apps that already do that for you, but it's still pretty exciting because you're going to be able to do it, right from your phone while you're listing on eBay. They're going to have an app that you take the photo and then you can make the background bright white. Your photos will look amazingly professionally done, just like stock photos. The information I have on that is it's supposed to start rolling out in October. If you were at eBay Open, you could sign up to try the beta, but only for Apple. So if you have a real phone, excuse me, I'm sorry, if you have an Android like me, you cannot get the beta yet. But they did roll it out for Apple, but you had to be there to sign up for the beta. Should be rolling out in October for everybody. When they showed it on the screens in the general session, it looked really neat. They looked really great. And I feel like they're going to cross-post to Poshmark as well. I'm reading the comments real quick. Hey, Robert, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Not sure if I can hang. Hey, Casey, welcome in. Good to see you. You can see I'm still struggling with my poor voice. Yeah, Terapeak is a good tool. It just takes a minute to learn. And since I don't really comp anymore, I don't have the patience to learn something to comp stuff. Does that make sense? But I absolutely recommend it for you guys if you can learn it. So Terapeak is now free for everyone, yes, if you have a store subscription. My party girl. Yeah, when you're in Vegas, doesn't matter how old you are, how much you think you're not a party person. It changes you. I think it's all that oxygen they flow in. Swimmerization by a bullet journal. Good. I love it. Yeah, Colleen did stick to her schedule. I was very proud of her. Jamie, this was your first open, so your concierge comes a while. It takes a long time. We went last summer and we got our concierge for going to open, and I think it was December before we actually got the email that we were in the program, but it is definitely worth the wait. If you have concierge you speak to, customer service reps in California at the headquarters of eBay, and you have to go to eBay Open to get that service. I think Casey slept even more than I did, honestly. Yeah, my voice is like this because I was at the concert, but and probably everything else in combination. Jamie is getting concierge. My favorite thing about eBay Open is the networking. It always is. My absolute favorite thing is always networking with other YouTubers, other resellers, eBay employees, and just meeting so many different people with so many different bases of knowledge and business models, and just talking and brainstorming. I just absolutely love that part of it. It's my fave. Just went to Vegas and missed us. Okay, so the white photo app, the Terapeak. Here's one that's not as exciting. Employees will now be able to access your eBay without having access to your account. And by that I mean if you have a VA, a virtual assistant, or an assistant, or you pay someone to list for you, they'll be able to go onto your eBay and list items directly to your store without having access to your account. They will not have to log in using your eBay login and seeing all your information on the Seller Hub and all your account information. They'll have their own special login that just gives them access to create listings for you. So for those of you that do have assistants or VAs, that's really good news, because I know I for one, the reason I don't have a VA, the reason we don't pay someone, the biggest reason, to share our Posh Closet for us or list on eBay. I don't want anybody having access to our account and our personal information. So that will be rolling out. They're going to have a special access for your employees only. So not really so much about non-paying buyers, but we're going to talk about my favorite thing they're doing. Save it for last. So that was 3. Number 4, they're going to be doing a version of FBA. So FBE, I guess. Fulfillment by eBay. Now, I have seen so many people losing their ever-loving minds and getting so angry, and I don't understand why, because it's not mandatory. If it's not good for you, if it doesn't fit your business model, don't do it. It's that simple. Hey, Sell Quick, Ship Quick is here. Welcome in. Thanks for stopping in. There shouldn't be anything wrong with the sound. Someone actually said it was loud. They had to turn it down. And I really don't want to talk about it anymore. I can do that, but anyway, lost my train of thought now. The FBE. So it's not mandatory. By no means are you required to do it. If it fits your business model, if it's something that would work for you, then you may want to look into it when it becomes available. But if it's not something you're interested, if it's not something you want to do, I'm reading this chat. Sorry. Then don't do it. It really doesn't fit our business model. We mostly do one-offs. We don't really find anything in bulk that we would ship away. It has to be something that's going to make sense for you. That's period. So, of course, there are going to be fees for them to store it, fees for them to ship it, just like there is with Amazon. See, that's why I don't want to talk about the sound anymore, because there's like a ton of you saying you can't hear me and there's something wrong with it. And there's a ton of you that's saying that it's absolutely right. So, it can't be both. If everybody said they couldn't hear me, it would be on my end, but I can't see. I'm checking out the sound in the back and my mic. It's probably just my voice. But if it's not my voice, I don't know what to tell you because the majority are you saying it's okay, and I really don't want to talk about it anymore. All right. Hey, Chad's in the house. Welcome in. If y'all didn't know, Chad is a stray who's actually named Jacques, but Chad is an inside joke that we came up with while we were open, and he's our stray that we adopted. Okay, that's the last. I'm going to talk about the sound because if you can't tell, I'm still a little sleep deprived and getting a little snitty about it. If you can't hear me, turn your sound up, check your settings. If you can, that's wonderful. Chad, that's funny. That's pretty much what I feel like saying, but I'm trying to be nice and not let y'all see how sleep deprived I am. So anyway, if you are interested in fulfillment by eBay, if it would fit your business model, if it's something that would make sense for you, you can sign up and you can do it when it's available. If it's not, don't call him a stray. We picked up a stray. If it's not good for your business model, then don't do it, period. But I swear I've seen so many things in the Facebook groups just the last couple of days where, Casey, I'm going to disown you. Where people are like losing their minds. Like people were on eBay for Business page saying that they were going to quit selling on eBay because they want to know parts of this. And it's not like it's mandatory. You don't have to do it. You can keep doing whatever you've always done. But here's the exciting thing. They're going to ship to other platforms for you if you participate in fulfillment by eBay. What? Yeah. So eBay doesn't want you to cross-post. They don't want you to sell on other platforms. But I think they kind of feel like whether they want you to or not, we're all going to. We are all going to cross-post. We are all going to sell elsewhere. So if you do sign up and participate in fulfillment by eBay, and you list an item on Poshmark or Amazon or somewhere else and it sells, and it's one of those items that they are storing and will ship for you, they will ship it to that buyer on the other platform. So that's pretty exciting. Like they're finally getting on board with, well, if we can't stop you from, cross-posting other platforms, then hey, we'll ship there for you, kind of like Amazon does. So I thought that was pretty cool, because everybody's got to get on board. It's no longer viable for any of us to just be on one platform. It's no longer viable to put all your eggs in one basket. We've all got to have multiple streams of income to make this job work. You can't just sell on one platform. You can't be a YouTuber and not have affiliate links. You've always got to have these multiple streams of income coming in. And I think it's time that everyone understood that. It's not that we're trying to slight eBay, but I want more chances for my items to sell, and I want more than one income. So now we're going to get into the fifth announcement, which is my favorite. I'm clapping because allegedly, like I said, they made it sound good, but I'll believe it when I see it. We are getting seller protections. Woo! Everybody give eBay a hand. This is one I just want to announce and very briefly talk about. I actually did sit through this workshop, and I have a photograph of all the slides, and I have a ton of notes that I took in information directly from the folks who presented this workshop, and all of the keynotes and everything that we're going to need to know about this. And it's very exciting. Basically, number one, do not have to have free returns on anymore to do a partial refund. How exciting is that? Yeah, that is the seller protection. I'm only going to briefly touch on the points because I will be coming out with a video in depth detail with all of the slideshows and everything. Slideshows? All the slides, whatever. Y'all know what I meant. But the first and most exciting thing is you don't have to have free returns on to do partial refunds anymore. All you have to do is have returns on. 30-day returns, whether they're free or buyer paid, and you have to be a top-rated seller, and you have to be a US-based seller. And if somebody returns something back in a condition different than they sent it to you in, you no longer have to call eBay and fight on the phone or any of that. When you go to do your refund, you can check the box that you want to refund a partial amount up to 50%, and you can be refunded the shipping label, and you can report the buyer right there. And if the buyer chooses to fight it and you have, number one, given a good reason and maybe photographic evidence, and two, not have been abusing the system, eBay will either tell the buyer where to go or give them their money back without bothering you. You get no defects, and you keep your whatever you kept from the buyer for the difference. Obviously, if every single return you get, you're doing partial refunds and claiming false item not as described, then they're going to think that you're abusing the system, as just like the buyers abuse. This is I kind of feel like they went too far in the other direction, to be honest with you, and I'll get more into that with the in-depth video. But it's kind of like they were lined up just to protect the buyers, and we were all getting screwed over and over again. And then they went this far over in this direction, and now the floor is open for every shady seller and bad seller to do a whole bunch of stuff that might not be above par. And it's making it easier for sellers to be bad people, I guess. But clearly, if you're abusing the system, they'll know, and you won't be able to keep doing it. You guys are funny. I'm reading the chat. Okay, so there's that, and it's all going to be like right on your seller hub, and that's what's exciting to me, because even though we have concierge, I don't like calling in and fighting with them and listening to them read their little scripts when clearly an item not as described, open for size, is falsely filed. So you'll be able to do all that right from the return. You can return less money. You can report the buyer for false item not as described. And here's the good thing. If a buyer gets reported enough times, they're going to block them from returning. They're not going to block them from buying off the platform, because clearly eBay wants to make money. But they're going to block them from being able to make returns. So they'll be able to buy and not return. Yes, they can get around that by doing the guest accounts. Yes, they can get around that by opening a new account. But they're going to be, quote unquote, allegedly, they're going to be watching it. So if they get reported enough, what will happen is they'll get blocked from returning items. And once that happens, any negative feedback and any defects that buyer has ever given out will be taken away. What? Right? So, okay, let's say, hi Justin, let's say Deb from She Sells Resells gets a false item not as described, doesn't fit, and reports the buyer. But that buyer, she now has that defect for that item not as described. And then the next week, Casey sells something to the same buyer, who returns an electronic opened out of the box that Casey had sold new, and Casey refunds them 50%. The buyer leaves negative feedback. It'll be immediately removed from Casey, but he got a defect, right? And then the buyer keeps repeating this behavior, and 6 months down the road, they do it to me, and I report them, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, or their last strike, and they get blocked from returning. Those defects from 6 months ago that Casey and Deb got are gone. So once a buyer is notated to be a problem buyer, all the defects that were caused by them and all the negative feedback caused by them in the past is removed, period. But all negative feedback should be removed for false item not as described. And they're talking about removing the defects for those now, because you all know if we have too many defects for item not as described and our metrics go up to a certain point, you would pay more in final value fees. That should go away for the false ones. And then, and starting in October on the Seller Hub, there's actually going to be a place where you'll be able to see, like I think they said it was like 30 days and 6 months, how many defects and negatives feedbacks you've had removed in the past, whether it was because you reported a buyer or they got blocked. So we'll be able to see all of that. And if they continue after they've been blocked from making returns, then they are going to be suspended off of eBay. And that's where the entire, question comes in. Can't they go on Google and shop using a guest account? Can't they create a new account? And from what I understand from the guys that did the workshop, as far as making a new account, they're going to start watching that like they do us. Like, if a suspender gets sold, if a seller gets suspended on eBay and tries to go around that by creating a new seller account, and they can tell it's the same IP address in the same house, they'll block you again. They're allegedly going to start doing that with buyers. So we'll see. But that was the most exciting for me. Because, here's the problem. Even with free returns, buyers open false item not as described. They just do. They just do. Because free returns have been a thing for a year now? And prior to that year, every single buyer was trained. And they knew, if I want to return this for buyer's remorse, color, size, change my mind, I have to pay the return. Unless I file a false item not as described, and then that forces the buyer or forces the seller to pay for the return. We all know most buyers don't read anything. Clearly, every day I get several messages, more than one, more than two, every single day, asking me for measurements or details that are in my listing that they couldn't be bothered to read. So, they've been trained for years to claim an item not as described to get a free return. They can't be bothered to read anything to see that you have free returns. And at least once a week, twice a week sometimes, we're getting a not as described. And it clearly is typed out. Doesn't fit. They're opening these falsely. So now we'll be able to report that and hopefully get the defects removed. We're still, pretty low average compared to our peers. They did check that at the BizBoost appointment we had at Open, but we check our Seller Hub anyway ourselves. So we're not really at risk yet for those higher fees, but it's a possibility. So, I just feel like this is a good thing. Oh, and one other update I wanted to say. There's always a way around stuff. Here's the thing. Whether you're a buyer, a seller, there's bad humans in this world. I like to think that most of us are generally good people, but there's bad buyers, there's bad sellers, there's shady people out there that will do really crappy things to other human beings. It's just the way the world is. But they did say, I guess the way it's set up now, and this is probably why it happens a lot, is when a buyer is filling out a return and they select doesn't fit or buyer's remorse and they see that they're paying for the label, they can back out, they can go back and back and back to the beginning and then choose the item not as described to finish filling it out so that they get the free refund or the free return label. They did say in the general session that they're taking that ability away. So if they go and they start a return and they're filling the information out and they fill it out honestly for buyer's remorse and then they see that they're paying the return label, they will no longer be able to back out of that to change the reason so they get the free label. I guess once they back out, they can't do the return anymore, or it's just going to force them to keep going. I didn't quite understand how they're going to do it, but they did say that they're going to make it so they can't see, oh my gosh, I'm paying, and back out. So that's a good thing too. They can't just be like, oh, I'm paying, let me change my mind. Yeah, Jennifer, you can watch the replay. Just keep in mind that some people say you can't hear me. Yeah, I want to be paid to play video games. If I could be paid to play World of Warcraft all day, I would be in heaven, but gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, for until now, the only way you could do partial refunds was if you had free returns. yes and no, Elizabeth. Anybody can go on Google and log in as a guest account and buy. I would think that most buyers believe free shipping is free, to be honest with you. It's that whole psychology game of why people recommend doing free shipping. And even if you up your prices and run a sale, they think they're getting a deal. It's psychology. They see the word free and it's free. Hey, Indiana Flippers, welcome in. Thank you for showing up. Simple to Faith. Marie. We won't respond to Marie's comments since we're not talking about that no more. Yeah, well, people keep commenting about it. I need a it's not Marie. Trust me. Go back and watch the replay. I need a moderator that's just here to talk to people about sound. Seriously. Selling stuff. I'm peeking. Oh, I sold a candle. Hey, you guys remember those boxes of Christmas stuff I bought? For like a couple bucks at that yard sale? This was in there. Sold for $14. I think once the first 2 Hallmark things sold, we were making profit, so we're good. Okay, so that's the big 5 things. Hey, Arlene, welcome in. LOL, 4-star. It's every video, though. That's kind of why, I'm like, I haven't been on for a week, and I'm back for 5 minutes, and it's already starting. Every single video, I'm either told they can't hear me, or it's too loud, and it can't be both. It can't be both. If everything looks good on my end, it can't be both. It has to be you. It's not me, it's you. And it could be YouTube. Simple to Faith. Oh, so you bought the watermelon face peel. Awesome. That came in one of my Ipsy boxes, and I don't do face peels, but I will tell you I had that brand and that watermelon before in a face moisturizer. In fact, that was what I took to Vegas with me last year because it was like a little sample size I could throw in my makeup bag for while I traveled. I really liked the moisturizer. It smelled so good. It smelled like watermelon Hubba Bubba. It was a really nice product. I don't like face peels, so I decided to sell that. I hope you enjoy it, and I appreciate your support. Hey, Grand Larceny, welcome in. There with my voice. Thrifty Falconer's wife. So I'm not gonna talk about what Indiana just commented. I'm gonna get a moderator just to do the sound complaints. You know, it's either I had to turn it down because you're so loud or I can't hear you at all, but it's the same complaints in the same video, and it really can't be both. So I do not understand. Try to face peel once. I just have really sensitive skin, so I have to do like the scrubs. The boys in the chat are like, why is she talking about this? I have to do like this gentle scrubs or like a face mask, because if I do a peel, my face turns bright red for days and like flakes. Robert's funny. Hey, Heather, welcome in. Thanks for coming in. Chad tried a face peel. It was refreshing. Why does that not surprise me? So that's the big 5. Just to recap, Terapeak is now free for everyone with any kind of store subscription with eBay. You don't have to have premium or above, and it is a good tool for newbies and anybody doing one-offs or still learning and comping. White Photo app will be available soon to put a bright white background on all of our photos directly from our phone in the app. Make them look really professional. Like stock photos, and those are the kinds of foodles. Those are the kinds of foodles. Those are the kinds of photos. Google, see, foodles, Google photo. Those are the kind of photos Google likes when they crawl eBay and put your stuff in the Google searches. That's in beta right now, but you had to sign up at Open to get into the beta program, and it's only for Apple products. They will now have employee access, so if you have a virtual assistant or employees, they'll be able to log in and list for you without logging into your actual eBay account and having access to your private information. And no more returns. There will be no more free returns to get the partial refund. They're going to remove feedback and defects, and fulfillment by eBay will be available, and they'll also be shipping to off-platform places for you if you cross-post. Again, don't get too excited or don't get too upset about that. You're not required. You can keep doing everything the way you've always done it, but if you've always been a fan of FBA on Amazon, this is something you may want to look into. If you're moving, if you don't have a lot of storage room, if you really don't want to pay for a storage unit, if you don't like shipping, if you just want to get rid of having to ship, send your stuff in. Have them do it. They'll ship the Poshmark for you too. Why not? But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. So those are the 5 big things. We got about 14 minutes left. If you have any questions at all, go ahead and ask them now. I'm going to open up the floor. AMA, ask me anything. If it's about sound, please refrain. We're not talking about sound no more. Anymore. There's a proper... Anything that's not about the sound quality or my voice. Floor is open. Ask away. I'm trying to be funny about it. I'm trying to make a joke about it. So if I'm coming across as snotty, I don't mean to. I'm just trying to make funnies. So 14 minutes left. If you got questions, put them in the chat. In the meantime, I have an announcement to make, but I'm going to catch up on the chat before I make the announcement. Us Chads and Brad's got to keep our faces fresh. But I did one too, and I was red for weeks. So now I just stick to like apricot scrub and stuff. No, it's not sleep or oxygen deprivation. It's yelling at a concert. My voice is trashed. You are absolutely welcome, Stark Raven Wild. We should have asked if they lose items in the warehouse. Do we get paid? That'd be interesting. It could be you or eBay. I think she means YouTube. Hi, Rebecca. Welcome in. Indiana Flippers. Yeah, you can watch the replay. Hey, Dominic is in the house, guys. Everybody say hi to Dominic. Everybody say hi. And tell him thank you from us. At the beginning of the video, I did... If you're going to go back and watch the replay, at the beginning of the video, I did... what's the word I want? I put a bunch of those up. I slammed the feed. I don't know. Tired. That's Dominic's group. Join it. The Haunted Museum was amazing. Lots of stuff on serial killers. I've been selling Christmas too. I went back for the big hippo. Aww. He was cute. The highlight of my trip was networking with other resellers and YouTubers. Absolutely. Every year. And meeting new friends. eBay is always to blame. Just use yard mud, Nathan. Get some worms in there and some extra protein. Guys, say hi to Dominic. Double-digit sales for us today. Yeah, it absolutely did help us bounce back. So, you guys, if you have any questions about anything I've talked about, throw them in the chat. Just remember that I'm going to be putting out more specific videos with screen shares and information from eBay on each of these items. Tonight, tonight, I really just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody. You guys know that I do like 3-4 live shows a week. I absolutely love interacting with you guys with the live chat and talking to you guys. It's my favorite part of having a YouTube channel is these live shows. And I just really wanted to come on and say hi. I missed everyone and give you the highlights. Bye, Chad. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you next time. If you need anything, like I said, text me during the week and I'll help you out. So, the announcement. I'm having a meetup. So, Excuse me. Oh, thank you. You guys, I missed you too. I really, really wanted to go live or upload from Vegas, but oh my gosh, we were lucky we could even get on Instagram. The phone service was bad, and then the Wi-Fi was terrible. Casey was even like, this is ridiculous. Like, we should be putting up videos. So, anyway, I'm having a meetup. And I know that last year I said I was going to try to have a meetup, and it never happened. And here's why. And this is why I love networking with other YouTubers. Because I had like a brainstorming session with Sydney and Casey. I think I bit off more than I could chew last year, and I got really overwhelmed. And I didn't know quite how to do it. Like, do I have... thanks. I know, Chad. No, I'm kidding. I think eBay did record the sessions. They did last year. They should have this year. If they didn't, there are plenty of YouTubers such as myself that are going to be coming out with all of the slideshows and the content. But check the eBay for Business Facebook page, because typically they do record the sessions. But a lot of YouTubers did as well. There were a lot of YouTubers there that were recording stuff. Did they say anything about my plush? Absolutely not. Swimmerization. No. Nope. Big capital N, big capital O. Nope, not ever. Never again. Anyway. I can't be empathetic enough. We sell summer items year round. MW, it depends on what all you do. The conference itself was $350 ahead of time for a ticket. You get special rates for the resort. If you can't afford the resort, you can stay, off strip at a more reasonably priced motel and just come in for the conference, ship in or Uber in or whatever you want to call it. You'd have to check flights in your area because flights are going to be different for everybody. Obviously, the earlier in the year you buy a flight, the cheaper it is, but it also depends on where you're coming from. If you stay at the resort, if you stay off strip, if you get a conference ticket, how many events you're going to do while you're there. Are you going to do events or entertainment while you're there? Where you eat and what you eat. There's some people that can do it on a budget. And, they stay in a motel for $50 a night, $60 a night, and they eat at McDonald's all week. And then there's people that spend $3,000, $4,000. So it just depends. Thank you, Colleen. They did record it. Just joking about the baby. I have a son that's almost 18 and one that is 15. And I am 42. So I don't need any more babies. Mine are almost all grown. And I'm not 42. I'm 41. I just made myself older than I am. I'm 41. And my babies are pretty much grown. So I got a hamster. And that's good. No babies, no puppies. Nothing hard. I'm just going to... take care of my little hamster. We have we do have a friend that runs a hotel. We actually have a hotelier friend, so we could hook you up if you needed to stay cheap in Vegas. Lyft is super cheap in Vegas year round. We used Lyft and Uber interchangeably. We took turns paying for the rides because there was a big group of us that hung out, and some of us had discounts, so we just took turns. Whoever had a couple bucks off would pay. And that's kind of what you got to do. If you can split the Ubers with folks, if you can go out to dinner and split it, because like a lot of the food there is really big too. So you go to a restaurant, you order a meal, it's really big. It's really enough for two people. You could split it. Sydney and I split a couple dinners. I split a couple with Chad. So, you could do it on a budget. Absolutely. Anyway, back on track real quick. Hey, Northwest Purple Sparkles, before I take off tonight. So I was going to do a meetup last year, and I just kind of got stuck in the weeds. Because I didn't know, should we meet at a park, restaurant? Should I cater it? Should I have you guys pay me ahead of time so I can cater it? So I'm just going to simplify it. I'm going to simplify it down to the very simplest way I can do it. It will be, I have a date picked out. I just have to look one more time. I want it to be absolutely tootly, already fall. The first day of fall this year is the 23rd, I believe, which is a Monday. And fall is my favorite time of year. It's when things aren't too hot around here. So the meetup will be September 28th. That is a Saturday. To simplify things and make it very easy, we're going to meet at an Eaton Park. If you are not from this area and you are not familiar with an Eaton Park, it's kind of like a Denny's, but with better food, and it has a salad bar and a soup bar and a pasta bar. I really like their food. A lot of people around here love them. They are absolutely famous for their soups and their salad bar. People love them. They have really good cookies and pies. They're really inexpensive. So what we're going to do, they have a conference room at the Eaton Parks in the back. They're really big. They have really long tables. It's a really big room for a lot of folks to come. And I will just have to call them like a month in advance and let them know, hey, we have a group of eBay sellers coming in. My name is Star. I'll be organizing it. We want this room. Everybody can come in and get their own check. And nobody has to worry about catering or gathering money or anything like that. Eat in Park. It's a restaurant. There are plenty of them around here in the Pittsburgh area. I'm going to call around to a couple and see who has the biggest conference room, 1 and 2 who's available. Well, they're all going to be available now because we're 2 months out. I'm going to pick one. We're going to meet on September 28th. Here's where I tell you again, if you're not in my Facebook group and you want to come to the meetup and you're interested in coming to this meetup, you need to make sure that you are in the Facebook group, because I will be putting the event in there, and I absolutely need people to RSVP so I could tell Eaton Park how many people to expect. And we're going to meet at 2 o'clock. I think that's kind of a weird time, but I thought we would probably want to meet. One, we want to meet for lunch, because after lunch, if people want to continue networking and going retail arbitraging or shopping or going to see Pittsburgh, there's a lot of really cool stuff to see in Pittsburgh. Or if people just want to continue to network and go bowling or mini golfing or whatever you guys want to do after we eat, you want to have plenty of time for that. So if we met for dinner and we sat around chatting for 2 or 3 hours in the restaurant, it doesn't give you much time left in the evening to see Pittsburgh or continue hanging out together. But I don't want to do too early of a lunch because I want people to have time to come in. I have a feeling it's just going to be a lot of Pennsylvania people mostly. So we're going to have it at 2 p.m. and we will be meeting at an Eaton Park. The entire event will be put in my Facebook group. Everybody's welcome to come. And you can meet me. And I believe Bill and David are coming. I believe Colleen is coming, or she's going to try to, right? And I am positively sure as of today that Sydney will be coming. So you guys can come and meet Sydney the Posh Bosh, me. Colleen should be coming. David and Bill should be coming. I think they're bringing their friend Danny, from what I understood. And then anyone else who will be around in the Pittsburgh area or wants to come out to the Pittsburgh area from Ohio or PA or wherever you're coming from. It's a good city if you don't live here. There's a lot to see, a lot to do. I'm kind of bored of it and jaded, but I think we all feel that way. Kathy might be able to make the 4-hour drive. Yeah, in October we're going to Florida, so I had to do the meetup in September. I kind of feel like it's always too hot until the fall. October we'll be in Florida for part of the month, and then in November you're already running the risk of it being too cold and having snow here. Honestly, so 12 hours. California not close enough. I hope to meet you at Next Open, Robert. Hopefully that will happen. Yeah, I will absolutely list a bunch of stuff I recommend. So if you're not in the Facebook group, I cannot reiterate that enough. Join the Facebook group. I will be putting the event in there. You can RSVP. It'll have the address, the restaurant, the time we're all meeting. And then I can put in hotels hours. Geez, I'm tired. Sorry. I will be putting in hotels that I recommend as well as events around here above and beyond. You can come out here, you can network, you can meet me, you can meet Sid, you can do some thrifting or retail arbitrage with other resellers. And then if you wanted to stay a day or two, I will absolutely put in recommendations for other things. We do have a casino here, in case you guys are interested. We do have a casino in Pittsburgh where you guys can go and gamble. We have, I don't know what season it is. We have sports teams. We have 3 sports teams, but I don't know what season that'll be because I'm a nerd. There's the Science Museum or the Science Center. Really cool place. There's a submarine you can take a tour on. There's just like a really lot to do around here. So there's a zoo. There's a Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. So I'll be putting all that in. I'll try to get like websites for you guys and stuff. Because if you wanted to come out and stay the weekend, you could get a hotel, do the reselling thing, and then see the city and the sites in Pittsburgh. Also, I don't know if we'll have time to come to Palm Beach. We are heading towards Tampa and Orlando, but we'll see. We'll try. We'll be in Pittsburgh in August. Yes. Simple Fit Life. We will be trying to organize something probably in Orlando. Sydney and I talked a little bit about that as well. I don't think we're staying in Tampa that long. It's just to fly in and meet Casey and them and go down to Orlando. So we should be trying to do a meetup there as well towards Halloween. And then you could meet me, Sid, and Casey at that point. And I think Colleen's going to that as well. So the meetup will be at Eaton Park here. Again, I will get the event up in the Facebook group and all the details there. So make sure you're in the Facebook group. Link is in the description box. If you haven't joined Dominic's group, go do that. And we are not going to Disney. We are going to Universal Studios for the Halloween Horror Nights because they're doing the Universal Monsters, which are like my jam. So, all right, guys. With that said, I am going to wrap this up. We've been over here for about an hour. Just checking something. Okay. It's not me still. Do me a favor before you leave, smash that like button. It really helps the channel. It will help get the video out to more people. And for those folks that didn't make it out to eBay Open, they may be interested in hearing all these updates. So give it a thumbs up. Let it be seen. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are at Flippin Hippos across all social media. And again, join the Facebook group if you haven't. Link is in the description box. It was really good to hang out with you guys after a week of being away. I did miss you guys. This is my favorite thing to do on YouTube, the live shows and interacting. You guys are all awesome, and I do appreciate you. You guys know that without you, there'd be no Flippin' Hippos. So thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the group and some of you at the meetup in September. Until next time, go be productive. Go make some money. Love you guys. Bye.